In this video, we're going to talk about one of the most familiar birds on the planet, the sparrow. Yeah, I know, you see them everywhere, but I promise you, these common little birds have a surprisingly complex social world and some seriously incredible survival skills that we're about to jump into. So, here's what we've got lined up. First, we're going to look at their global presence. It's pretty incredible. Then, we'll dive into their family life. After that, we'll check out what a typical day looks like for a sparrow, and we'll wrap things up with some fun facts that I bet you didn't know. Okay, let's kick things off with a big picture. Just how many sparrows are there, and where in the world do they all live? Get ready for this number! There are an estimated 1.4 billion sparrows in the world. Billion! With the B! That easily makes them one of the most common and successful bird species on the entire planet. But you know, sparrow is a big category, so what's really interesting is how that massive number breaks down. The house sparrow, that's the king. Its population alone could be as high as 1.5 billion, and a huge reason for their success is just how good they are at living right alongside us humans. It's a theme we're going to see pop up again. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about where they are. Their distribution is just wow. From the busiest city streets to the quietest country farms, you can find these tough little birds pretty much everywhere. The only continent they haven't managed to conquer? Antarctica. Okay, so we've seen the massive scale of their world. Now let's zoom way in. Let's look at the life of just one sparrow. How do they find a partner, build a home, and start a family? So, when it comes to love, how does a sparrow find the one? Well, it's way more complicated than you might think. It's definitely not just a random thing. Okay, so for a male sparrow to even have a chance, he's got to prove he's got the goods. It's like a three-step audition. First, he's got to sing his heart out. A really complex song shows he's healthy. Second, location, location, location. He needs to lock down a great territory with lots of food and shelter. And finally, he's got to strut his stuff, puffing out his chest to show how strong and full of energy he is. And check this out. This is a perfect example of those visual cues. For the house sparrow, you see that dark bib on the male's throat? The bigger and darker that patch is, the more dominant he is. It's basically a status symbol, and the females find it very attractive. So once a pair gets together, and they often mate for life, which is sweet, they get right down to business starting a family. They live for about 6 to 10 years, and in a good year, they can raise a few batches of kids. A female can lay up to 5 eggs in one go, and it's a real team effort. Both mom and dad are super involved in raising the chicks. Alright, section 3. Let's talk about a day in the life. What's on the menu for a sparrow, and what's their social structure like? So first, a little bit of biology. What kind of creature is a sparrow? Well, they belong to a group called passerine birds. Fancy word, right? All it really means is perching birds. And if you look at their feet, you'll see why. They have this perfect setup. 3 toes pointing forward and 1 pointing back, which gives them that incredible grip on branches, wires, you name it. Okay, let's talk food. Their diet is honestly one of their superpowers because they are so adaptable. I mean, sure, they mostly eat seeds and grains. But look at this chart for a city sparrow. Nearly 15% of their food comes from our leftovers. We're talking breadcrumbs, dropped french fries, you name it. Being able to eat just about anything is a huge reason they do so well living around us. Now you know sparrows are super social. They hang out in these big groups called flocks, but that brings up a really interesting question. Who's in charge? Is there a leader, an alpha sparrow, calling the shots? The answer is, well, it's pretty fascinating. It turns out there is no leader. They operate on something called swarm intelligence. It's a totally decentralized system. Instead of following a chief, each bird just pays attention to the birds right next to it, matching their speed, their direction, and by following these simple rules, the entire flock can move together like this incredible coordinated wave. No boss needed. Alright, now for the really fun part. Let's rapid fire some amazing facts that I guarantee will make you see the sparrows in your backyard a little differently. Okay, fact number 1. They have an extra bone in their tongue. It helps them hold on to seeds. 2. A group of sparrows has some awesome names. You can call them a host, a quarrel, or a crew. I like quarrel. 3. They might be small, but they are tough. They'll chase much bigger birds away from their nests. 4. They love taking dust baths to stay clean. And 5, get this, in the winter, some rural sparrows eat over 70 times their own body weight in seeds. That's just incredible. And speaking of dust baths, here's a perfect look at one in action. They just find a dry patch of dirt, dig a little hollow, and then start flinging that dirt all over themselves with their wings. Yeah, it looks a little messy, but it's super important for keeping their feathers healthy and getting rid of any pesky parasites. It's their own personal spa day. So there you have it. From their complex courtship rituals to their amazing leaderless flocks, the common sparrow is, well, anything but common. They're these tiny, tough as nails survivors, just hiding in plain sight. So that leaves us with one last question for you. The next time you see a sparrow, what's the first thing you're going to notice? Alright, that is it for this video everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.